the Gimped Ninja.
Okay, so everybody keeps asking me how my trip went, so I guess I'll tell you. Uh, Sunday, we got to the airport like probably 5, 6 hours early. We were waiting around the terminal forever, but hey, I was excited to get there. I was anxious. Okay, I wanted to get there as soon as possible, make sure there was no problems, which there weren't, but. So yeah, Mom and I sat around. We went for supper. Had Chili's at the airport, which was overpriced, like everything else at the airport, but it was still good. It was actually really good. But anyways, I'm not here to talk about the food, though I probably will. Um, we got on our plane from Edmonton to Toronto. Slept a little bit on the plane. Got to Toronto it was about a 4 hour flight, which meant we showed up around 6 o'clock, 6:30 local time, which is a 2 hour time change, just they're 2 hours ahead. And then from there, we sat around the Toronto airport. We went for breakfast, even though we weren't really hungry. Had to go through customs. Eventually left Toronto, flew to Philadelphia. That Toronto airport is really, yeah, it's a little outdated, but anyways, we got there eventually. Uh, oh, yeah, that plane was looking like it should have been retired like 30 years ago. It was not a pleasant flight. It was small, cramped, had to load on the runway, which meant they had to bring a lift and for me to get into the plane. And then my chair was not really well taken care of, but we made it to Philly. Um, the Philadelphia airport apparently has a reputation of the staff being really rude and horrible and everything, but uh, they were actually probably the most helpful and friendliest staff I've at any of the airports we were at. So I don't know why some people get so up, upset about them, but I don't know. Maybe we got them on a good day. So finally, get into Rhode Island. Ah, get our bags. Well, no. We got out of the terminal, went to get to the baggage terminal where we meet up with the most beautiful woman I've ever seen. And Sydney, her CNA, was there too. And her grandmother, who is a lovely, lovely lady. Really, really like her a lot. She's I don't know how to put this nicely, but a little too helpful sometimes. But I know it's always meant with the best intention, so I'm not gonna complain about that. And so we're gathering our bags up. We go to where we're supposed to rent a car. Steph decides that her and Sydney are going to go back to her apartment for a bit so she can get her clothes and stuff and give us a chance to kind of rest. So her grandma comes with us to the rental car place. The first place we went, I can't remember. There's a bunch of them lined up in a row. The first place we went, Mom's kind of said, well, we need a vehicle that I'd be able to get into and my wheelchair would fit in and everything. So we're looking at maybe a small SUV or something. But as soon as she said wheelchair, the guy behind the counter basically was like, nope, we got nothing, because it's gonna, I don't know, somehow get my gimp germs on the vehicle and somebody else is gonna get infected. So I was kind of a little pissed off about that, but there's all these other guys there. We just basically said, fine, fuck you, you don't want our business, we'll go somewhere else. Next place we went, we got the vehicle. We did not get GPS, and that will come back to bite us in the ass later. I'll get to that. But, so we got the vehicle. We found our way to the hotel fairly easy, but Stephanie's grandma still helped us get there, which was really nice of her. So we got into the hotel. The room was really nice, handicapped accessible. Uh, it was decent sized, enough room to move around. One of these days I'm gonna get a real camera so I don't have to rely on my phone with its limited memory. So, anyways, the hotel room was nice. My mom had the room right next door. It was an adjoining room. That door stayed locked pretty much the whole time. So the first night we just, well, no. I got to the room, I kind of unpacked what I was gonna unpack. Just kind of laying around. I slept a little bit, but really I was too excited to sleep. And I was laying there waiting for what seemed like forever, and in my mind I'm kind of thinking, geez, was this a mistake? I'm lying here, I'm all alone. Does she even want to be here? Why isn't she here? What the hell's taking so long? And finally, after what seems like forever, she shows up, and as soon as I saw her, I knew that was definitely the right decision, definitely where I should be. So we didn't really do much the first night, just kind of hung out, and Mom ordered shitty pizza because apparently phoning the pizza place that, the local resident recommends doesn't work, and she claims they wouldn't deliver to the hotel, but I don't think she even phoned, because the one place that Stephanie really likes it's not a franchise, it's a locally owned place. So I don't see why they would have any kind of zoning things where they can't deliver here or there or whatever. I mean, if you're an independent company, you'll deliver wherever the hell they and they delivered to her apartment, which was only like 3 blocks from the hotel. So I don't know why they wouldn't deliver to the hotel. But anyways, I digress. So we got really bad pizza, if there can be such a thing as bad pizza, but that, yeah, needed more sauce, needed more toppings, needed more everything, more cheese. It was big, but it was, yeah, I don't think we ever did eat the last 2 pieces. Okay, I'm an idiot. Tuesday, she actually had a doctor's appointment that afternoon, so I went with her to that, and we were going to go to the mall after that, but there's a kind of, the ride program, it's handicap accessible, whatever. She had informed them I was going to be coming with them, and so, we went to her doctor's appointment. Everyone's gonna think I'm an asshole, but they already do, but I accidentally punched her in the eye, and I am still sorry about that, and please stop bringing it up every chance you get, because I feel like an asshole. I went to put my arm around her and just kind of smacked her. I didn't realize she was that close. I'm sorry. Tried to kiss it better. So we saw her doctor, finally got some stuff figured out, which is a relief because it was stuff that was had been going on for far too long. I don't want to give too many details about what's going on in her life, because really, I know she wouldn't want me just spouting off everything about her. So, anyways, after that, we were going to go to the mall, but the guy driving the bus was kind of a dickhole. We could tell that as soon as he pulled up. We sat outside on the bench for about a half hour waiting, and then that's another thing. I really did good with my transfers all week. Like, I probably transferred more in this 4 or 5 days than I have in the last like 3 years. So really did good with that, and didn't fall on my ass, didn't knock anything over, didn't, well, while transferring at least. Anyways, so the guy pulls up. He's a bit of a, well, first off, he had a big problem because nobody told him that I was going to be there too. Well, yeah, nobody might have told him, but we did tell the dispatcher when we phoned, and it wasn't a problem then, so it's not our fault. So we phoned them and blah blah blah, and it eventually figures it out. And then the smallest bill I had was $10, and it was supposed to be $4 for the ride. Now, we knew there was no point in, after the way he carried on already, in even asking him if he could drop us off at the mall instead. So, anyways, I only had a 10, and it's $4 pretty much anywhere in the States. So, we went back to the hotel. I gave him the 10, he ran into the hotel to the front desk to get change, which, you know, what a huge deal that is. It took all like 30 seconds, but then he gave us a big lecture about that before, and make sure we got correct change and everything else. And once we got back to the hotel and I got the change, I was going to give him, you know, an extra, give him $5, give him the extra dollar for his trouble of, you know, having to go do that. But then he goes and gets the change, and then we get another lecture about making sure we got exact change and everything else. And I thought, well, you know what, fuck you, buddy. You're gonna be a dick about it, the hell with you. Give me my exact change back. And honestly, the whole time on the road, he's complaining. This guy, for somebody who drives for a living, he couldn't drive a sharp stick up a dog's ass. He did not know where his wheels are at any point in time. You have to back up and go forward 6 times when all he had to do was turn the wheel a little more. But anyways, so we went back to the hotel, and that night we went out for supper. We went to a place, I can't remember where it was. It wasn't. To get there, Mum followed Sydney, and I had the directions written down on how to get back that Sydney, who lives there and who's been to that restaurant numerous times, knows. But we had a really nice supper, huge portion sizes. Like, there were leftovers all week. It was really, really good. After that, we waited around for Mom to come back again. Now, here's where the no GPS thing comes in. Of course, the directions that I had written down, those weren't good enough because it wasn't the exact way we came. So, tried to go back the way we came, only took the wrong turn because honestly, I have no idea. No memory or anything, I guess. But we basically did a tour of every gas station within a 30-mile radius of Providence. Eventually, we got back after like 2 hours, and yeah, so we got back eventually. Oh, that morning too, we went and took advantage of the continental breakfast at the hotel too. And, speaking of knocking stuff over, I might have dropped a muffin, but gotta make a mess wherever I go. So Wednesday is the day we went to the mall. We got some stuff. We got some groceries because I was supposed to cook supper at night, so that's what we did. After we left the mall, we went back to Stephanie's apartment. We picked up the movie Frozen while we were there. So that night I made supper, which the macaroni was good. The meatballs weren't as good as they should have been, and that's definitely my fault. I tried to make them too big, too much meat, and they didn't really get cooked enough on the inside, and then a little overcooked on the outside. And anyways, they were edible, but I should have done better. So we watched Frozen, which did not live up to all the hype, okay? I'm sorry if you like that movie, but it was an okay movie, but it was not the great cinema spectacular that everybody makes it out to be. Probably wouldn't watch it again, but the movie wasn't that good, but the company was excellent, so. Now, her tiny apartments meant I had to sleep on the couch, which was actually pretty comfortable. So, the next morning, I was supposed to make chocolate chip pancakes for breakfast. And hash browns, which again didn't turn out as good as they should have. There's a couple of reasons for that, but I know what they are and I know to improve next time. And pancakes, well, you ever been in a hurry to do something so you try to do too much too fast? Yeah, I had the heat turned up too high, and they didn't really get the outside got burnt, the inside was raw, and set off the fire alarm about 5 times. And her neighbors think I'm a retard, but I don't care. So I tried making pancakes like 3 times. They were, again, edible. The hash browns were okay. It wasn't the best breakfast. I feel like an ass for that. But anyways. Then, let's see, that afternoon, we went to see a movie. The Perfect Man, that's what it was. It was not really what either of us was expecting. The description kind of figured it was like, a romantic comedy kind of thing, but turned out to, it was a good movie. It was a good movie, but it wasn't what we were expecting. So it was like a tall stalker psycho situation, but yeah, it was pretty good. I'd probably watch that again. But again, excellent company, even though I spilt the damn popcorn. I spilt it before we even got into the theater, coming up the little bit of a ramp there to get in. yeah. So that night we went out and had supper with my mom and Steph's grandma and the two of us, and that was really good. And we got chocolate cake from that restaurant there, and excellent, excellent cake. It was, yeah, it's the best I ever had. Stuff, we'll get that the rest of you will be going, what the fuck's he talking about, but anyways. We went back to her grandma's place for the cake. Her uncle and her brother helped me out, because it's one of those houses where you go in and there's a set of stairs up one way and a set of stairs down the other, and, well, I don't do stairs too well. So they basically carried me up and got to meet her family. Her mother was there, who I had already met, and her grandmother and her uncle, her brother and his girlfriend, and her sister, and the cutest little baby you've ever seen, Noah, her nephew. He was a little cranky because it was kind of late, but still really cute. Oh, and of course the dog came, yeah. So we had cake and hung out for a while. Cake was really good. Even though somebody took the leftovers and didn't bother sharing them with anybody, but yeah, what I had was good. Then the next morning, neither of us felt like getting up. Well, the plan originally was for us to go to the Providence Mall and go to Dave & Buster's. But, like I said, neither of us felt like getting up. I went and got a little bit of food from the Continental Breakfast or whatever and brought it back, and just kind of laid around until noon. And, what did we do then? Oh, we went back to her apartment for a bit with Sydney so she could get some stuff, and then maybe for supper that night. I can't remember. But that night we had tickets to see a comedy show at a place in Providence. We ended up taking a taxi to that, a handicapped accessible taxi, which Sydney actually found. It was expensive, but they were really, really good. Got us there, no problem. We had a great night, a really good show. We came back in the taxi. We were going to, it was like 11 o'clock. Apparently Dave & Buster's is open till like 2. We were supposed to be flying out at like 4:30 that night. So, we were going to go to the mall and go to Dave & Buster's till about 2 and then go back to the hotel and then say our goodbyes, and Steph would go home from there and I would miss her like crazy. But we made the mistake of letting my mom know what was going on, and she kinda, well, she was worried we were gonna miss the plane and not be able to get home and everything, and so we ended up just saying the hell with it and went back to the hotel. Well, Stephanie's grandma came and picked her up from the hotel, got her phone charger, and had, didn't even get a kiss goodbye. She left. I was there alone, lonely, miserable. And I phoned about 2 hours later to talk to her because I knew she was kind of upset about the whole situation with not being able to go to Dave & Buster's and how that all turned out. And I had to talk to her. I couldn't leave it till we got home. So we talked for close to an hour. And I kind of slept for maybe 10 minutes and watched a little TV. And about 3 o'clock we left for the airport, which is a good thing we did because it took a long time to get through customs and everything, and well, not customs, but checking the luggage and everything else. Airports. The stereotypical frumpy black woman working for the TSA is very much a reality-based stereotype, okay? I don't mean to sound like an asshole, but yeah, that's pretty much. And we had to go through flippin' security at every single goddamn airport. And when you're in a wheelchair, they pat you down every time. I got groped by more black men in one day than I ever expected to be in my entire life. Of course, in my entire life, I expected that number to be 0, but it's for your own security. Because obviously I'm smuggling a bomb. So, and I'll never understand that how one container of liquid that's 3 ounces is okay, and 3 containers of liquid that's 3 ounces is okay, but one container that's 4 ounces, no, that's dangerous. What? Well, I can take 6 of them as long as they're all in 3 ounces. That's okay, but you take one that's slightly more than 3 ounces, horrible. Anyways, we fly from Providence to Philadelphia. The flight from Philadelphia to Toronto was cancelled, which meant either having to spend the night in Philadelphia, which we didn't really want to do, or alternatively go route through Chicago and ultimately get into Edmonton 6 hours later than we had originally planned, which is what we did. So we went to Chicago, which is a huge airport, O'Hare. It literally had to go from one end all the way to the other to get to our next flight. Huge airport. We had overpriced meal there, but it was pretty good. So, yeah, and again, phone talked to Steph for a while because why not? And if you're ever traveling in a wheelchair, make sure you gate check your chair. Do not use one of those damn hospital chairs, airport chairs, whatever. Just gate check the bloody thing and be sure it's going to meet you at the next destination. I would not do it any other way. And the whole trip, I sat by the window the whole time, which was easiest for me to just transfer, and then transfer to the next seat and be by the window. Because, you know, I'm not going to have to get up and go to the bathroom or anything. I'm not going to be able to, right? So it's easy for me to just sit there and nobody has to crawl over me every time. Which, you know, to me makes a lot more sense. But anyways, we eventually went from Chicago to Edmonton. That flight actually got in like 40 minutes early. Had a good tailwind. The weather the whole time we were in Rhode Island was kind of, well, it was nice a few days and stuff, but it was rainy and miserable and stuff some days, but it was okay. We left the air conditioning on too late the one night. We both kind of had sniffles the next day, but anyways. So, we get into Edmonton, we go to get our bags, and guess what? My bag with my clothes in it, and more importantly with my computer in it, isn't there. So had to fill out a thing to try to track that down. That bag was nothing but trouble the whole time. When we first got there, we got halfway to we got all the way to the vehicle rental place before we realized it wasn't there. We had to go back and claim it. And then finally we got it, and then we almost left that in the vehicle when we went back to the airport too, that same bag. And then they lost it when we came home. So, started the long drive back to Vermilion from Edmonton. We had to stop a couple times to try to get a little bit of sleep. And we eventually got home at like 4 in the morning, back to my apartment. Now, I have these dressings on my butt for the pressure sore and on my feet. Now, those hadn't been changed, those had to be changed. So when we got home, I got in the shower and showered quickly, and Mom did the dressings for me. We were both exhausted, especially her, because she had to stay awake and drive that whole time, right? So she basically slept on my couch till 9 o'clock the next morning, and then headed out, and I just slept until afternoon. Yeah, I had maybe 5 hours sleep in the last 50 at that point, so I slept like a rock. So, yeah, that's it. I took a couple days to recover. I miss being there so much. I miss Stephanie so much. And next year, she is going to be coming up here, hopefully, for a long time. It was a really good trip, but it was really too short. But it was definitely worth it. And, hopefully she'll be here next year, and we'll see. I'm hopefully planning to be able to go and spend a month down there too. We're looking at maybe being able to rent a condo or something for a month. Well, in there, which would be a lot cheaper than the hotel. You can rent that for a month for like what you would pay for a week in a hotel, so it makes a lot more sense to me. So yeah, that's more or less my trip. Thank you so much to everyone who helped me do that, and for Stephanie's family for welcoming us, and hope to see you guys soon. And Stephanie, love you more than anything. Take care. Bye.